Ben McKee, West Record Go Vols 24/7 here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium with our Around the Horn following Tennessee's 10-1 win over Missouri in the series opener here on a Thursday night, our first Thursday, Friday, Saturday series of the season. And it was pretty ho-hum for Tennessee, just dominant as usual, very dominant at the plate and dominant on the mound as well.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if y'all knew this, but home runs are better than singles. And both teams had, I think Mizzou had, 9-10 hits tonight. Tennessee had about 10 hits tonight. Tennessee's just left the yard, and that helps, right? I mean, you go into the series, and the thing that stood out like a sore thumb was Tennessee had like 120 home runs. Mizzou had like 40. You got the best home run hitting team in the country versus the team that hardly ever does, especially for an SEC team, and you thought that could be a factor, and it was. You know, Tennessee got the pitching it needed, and it spread some singles around, no big deal, but hit some dingers and they go on.
Yeah, if you look at Missouri's SEC stats in conference games only, they are at the bottom of pretty much every statistical hitting category. So A.J. Causey and Chris Stamos should have done what they did, but you still tip the hat. Stamos bouncing back from his 8-pitch outing against Kentucky last week and did it with having to work out of some trouble in the first inning and looked really good.
Yeah, he did. You know, and last weekend was kind of a weird deal, right? Because Kentucky's got some hitters, and you know, Waldschmidt especially, the dude's, you know, barreling up everything right now, and that's a tough leadoff job. So for an opener, you're not going to get a lot of action, and when you're facing that guy to open, that makes opening a little tougher. So a little more manageable tonight. Got a couple of singles that weren't really hit too hard, but were singles with 2 strikes and 2 outs there in the first. Worked around it, got into the third, got through the lineup plus a couple lefties, and then Causey went out there and did what he was supposed to do, man. He spins the heck out of the ball, and it's hard to see.
Yeah, 3 straight outings now for Causey in which he has gotten back on track after he had the 2 back-to-back against Georgia and Auburn that prompted Tennessee to go with his opener role. And outside of the one hiccup for Stamos at Kentucky, I mean, this is now 6 opportunities for both of those guys in this situation, and it's gone well in 5 of the 6 opportunities.
Yeah, and with Causey, there's really not much that gets him in trouble. It's just when he faces lefties, they have more time to see the ball, and he throws that 2-seamer or changeup, both of them that tail in, you know, like they kind of, he throws them there at the front hip a little bit, kind of like Maddox used to do, and they tail in. That's great when you throw it at the hip and it goes, but when you're putting it just kind of off the inside and then it goes tails over to the middle of the plate against a lefty, that's trouble. And that's especially at Auburn what got him in trouble. But, you know, you learn from it. Sometimes, you know, as Tony Vitello was talking about Marshawn Lynch, sometimes you get got. But you learn from it, and he did.
Absolutely. Offensively, very ho-hum, and it's funny. I was thinking about this as we were talking to Tony. No questions about Billy Amick hitting 2 home runs in a game. Now that's 2 games in 3 days this week where he has hit 2 home runs in a game. Simo leading off for Tennessee offensively tonight with another home run, his 14th of SEC play. Blake Burke's hitting streak does come to an end.
What a loser. They should get rid of that guy.
Yeah, and I passed Blake as we were walking out here, and he said that he was very relieved that the hitting streak has come to an end. He does own the record, so a lot to take in that part of it, but he can kind of be free now and just go hit the way that he already was doing. But ho-hum from the main guys. To me, the storyline at the plate was Cannon Peebles getting in at the end of the game. This is a guy that had a lot of power last year at NC State as a freshman. Things haven't gone his way yet this year, and he finally got that monkey off the bat tonight with hitting his first homer.
No question. And, you know, the top 5 guys in Tennessee's lineup all have an OPS of 1,200 or better. They're monsters. They're going to be monsters. Don't ever start thinking that's normal, because it's not, and it might not ever happen again, but they've got it now. But when the bottom of the lineup, too, is doing it, man, that changes things. And if you told me before the season that Tennessee's 121st home run would be Peebles' first home run, I would have told you, well, first off, that's impossible. Secondly, they're going to hit a lot of home runs. So 2 good things, right? You get surprised by something. If that guy gets hot now, too, and, I mean, it's 1 at bat, so let's not go crazy. But, you know, they've kind of been searching a little bit, moving around at the DH spot. If he gets hot, switch hitter, ton of pop, still a potential first-round draft pick next year. If he starts getting hot too with this offense, I mean, good gosh, Ben, they're gonna do serious damage.
Yep. Oh, and that Cal Stark guy hit another home run tonight with runners on base. I believe he's had 5 home runs this season, and only 1 of them has been a solo shot. So, I mean, if you get Stark and Peebles contributing consistently in the lineup, I mean, the lineup is already ridiculous. It just becomes even more ridiculous.
Yeah, and Christian Moore, by the way, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure we talked about it a little bit, but not a lot, that he's almost certainly going to set the single-season home run record for Tennessee. I think that's Sonny Cortez with 24. Tennessee's top 3 or 4 hitters could all do that. Like they could have 3 guys go 1, 2, 3 all time in single season program history. Again, this stuff is stupid. It's not normal. But when you get guys like Stark, guys like Inslee, guys like Peebles that are doing that kind of damage to Reese Chapman when he does it, Bargo when he does it. You know, it's like if somebody's having a bad night, you know, you never want anybody to have a bad night, but it's like, it's okay. I got 4 or 5 more guys. Like it's an assembly line. Like Josh Elander, every second that he's an assistant at Tennessee and not a head coach somewhere is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
But, you know, Tennessee won't complain about it, but, I mean, they've built an offense.
They won't complain about it, but Tony Vitello's office is right up there, and he might start throwing something at you if you keep talking about Josh Elander and his job
He knows.
out loud. But Hunter Inslee, do want to highlight him real quick.
Yeah.
A nice sacrifice bunt, only Tennessee's second of the season, set up the Cal Stark homer, and then Inslee comes back later and hits a home run of his own. So good to see Inslee continue to gain some confidence as well as he's done over the last couple of weeks.
Love
Had a
the
homer
ABs. Love
at
the
Kentucky.
ABs he
Yes,
puts
just
together.
tough, gritty, very much a Tennessee baseball player under Tony Vitello. So Tennessee handles business the way that it should tonight. We'll see what they do the next 2 days. It should look very similar to tonight. Some house cleaning notes. Wes and I will not be in attendance tomorrow. We have a wedding to go to tomorrow night for the great
Not
Michael
our
Wilson.
wedding, but we're sitting at the same
Yes,
table.
not our wedding, but we are sitting at the same table with our wives
Yes.
to celebrate Mike Wilson and his lovely bride. So we'll still have content and coverage up at the site, but
Nice
we will
scheduling,
not be.
idiot, Mike.
Yeah, he said that, not Ben.
I
So,
did, and I said it, and I'll say it again.
We've got plenty of coverage this weekend of Tennessee's soon-to-be series win over Missouri. He's Wes Rucker. I'm Ben McKee.